Woohoo! Mic. Okay, here we go. So guys, hi! Good evening, no, actually it's an afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. Let me quickly try to get this running here, and then we're ready to go. I suppose. Oh, shall we try this? Nope, not entirely. Okay, way too much. I guess that should be something like enough here. Hi. So, welcome for today's first experimental, well, not first experimental, but at least for us, the first and experimental programming / .NET developing stream. Yeah, long story short, what do? We're gonna code a bit around on musicbot and gonna try out some stuff in general. So, first quick check. Since, as you can see, we have code, and code is usually hard to read if you can't read it properly. Do me a favor, check if you can see it, be it in full screen or not in full screen, and then we can adjust the resolution and so on. And if everything is fine, I would say we start directly. Plans for today is to implement a quoting feature, as we know it from, for example, Nightbot. So we have then exclamation mark, add quote, and then inside Thompson says, I like coding, for example. And yeah. Inside says sweet HD. Okay, so I guess that's working. That's now 10,080p, 24 FPS. Just please remind me later that we put it back again, just in case we totally forget it, because that would not surprise me that we totally forget it later. Imagine playing Guild Wars with 24 FPS. Ugh. And I quickly check the bytes per pixel. 1920p, 980, 24, 0.1. Yeah, it's not perfect, but 24 FPS should be enough. You could easily go even lower. But yeah, that's the code here. It's yeah, a more current version of what's available on Google Code. I did not update Google Code for a very long time for some very simple reasons. For example, because I'm a lazy cunt, first thing, and also in one of the modules on the which there is some hard-coded stuff, I was totally lazy to actually put that in. Maybe I find it somewhere, probably not, I don't know. Yeah, too long to listen. The code is so bad I don't want to publish it anymore. I can compile you a version and give it to you, but the code is actually for own use only and not for, you know, making it publicly available. Anyway, since everything else is working, I think we just start, and we're just gonna do it in an object-oriented programming with modulation, talking about we make an own class, own object, own package, whatever, to use it, and we're just gonna use the simplest of form, which is the class. In this case, just gonna call it, let's say, I don't know, quote mod or something. I don't know, I don't care. It does not really matter. It's just a name. So, first important thing, basically, to move the chat somewhere, right? Is this chat actually? Oh, chat's actually here. Yeah, we can. I think here would be best, I guess, because there is never error as anything here. Even if you write everything full, it's empty area, basically. Should fit there. Okay. First reason is, first thing what we need is to think about what does this thing actually have to do. And my idea is that we, let's say, have quotes from people. People can add quotes with a command, and then the bot stores the quotes. Then these quotes can be either fetched randomly, or put onto, or fetched via ID or whatsoever. What we will need is definitely a thing, or let's say an object model we have, which we call a quote. Maybe we should call the thing not quote mod, but more quote manager. Could be a better name actually. Where is the? There we go. Rename quote. So basically, what we need now is an object model, how our quotes are supposed to look like, and I would say we just take the class and call it quote. Yo, Kiri, good evening. Screen is hazy. Varen, how is the screen hazy? How's it hazy? And hi. Yeah, tell me. Dictionary. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I was more thinking, well, dictionary would be a good idea, but I'm not really, let's say, how do I say, very used in using dictionary, so I just thought about we just make a simple list with objects, with quote objects, and it's also pretty easy to like just store them in an XML file, for example. That's why I want to use this one. I mean, in the end it does not matter, it's just a question about data types, and I'm not really, let's say, familiar with dictionaries. I used them in the past and I know how they work and whatsoever, but I'm not really, let's say, confident in using them. So I will just skip them for now. Okay, class quote. What do we need? First of all, we need a simple thing, an ID. Quote ID. Okay, what else do we need? We need then the quote person. Give me a name. Like the person quote, that's like, yeah, that's like the part of the quote. Let's say, how do we call those persons? Like quotator? No. Let's just call it quote target. I don't know. I don't know. If you have a better idea, tell me. I don't know right now. Okay, then string and then like the quote itself. And what else do we need? Then we need a timestamp. No, it was a date. It was a date time or date? Instant and time to be represented to temporary. Okay, that's possible. And that is then supposed to tell us when it was added. Let's call it then just like timestamp. I don't care. User, yeah, that's good. Wow, so simple and so easy. What is stream? Yo, Magno, what is this? It's a programming stream. We're gonna try it out today for the next 2 hours. Gonna code some bit on musicbot. Depending on how it goes, how people say like, oh my god, this is awesome, go away with it. Then we may or may not add it to our streaming schedule, so that we just like I don't know, program during the day, and during the night we are Batman and fight Frenchies and Germans and Spanish people in Guild Wars. Author, yes, that's even better. That's even better than user. Author. Kiri, we are friends, or aren't we? Quote author is even better, I think. Quote author, quote. Okay, timestamp. And that's, I think, so far the most interesting stuff. Then we will need the constructor, so we can actually generate the thing. And constructor means then basically the integer will be generated automatically. We need then the string p author as parameter, and then string p quote. Also be noch like declared internal. Okay, then we need a function that basically checks if we like generates a new ID, and then we need a function that generates the current timestamp. I guess we're just gonna do it like this. Date time, then get current. Oh wait, the function should be get current timestamp. Boom, 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 and that was then date time dot UTC now. No, that's UTC. Wait, actually want UTC. Was why not? Shouldn't be? Daytime, yes. Or is it? Wait, isn't it a? No, that's a property in this case. Right. I see it's white brother, yes. White brother, white bro. Sounds interesting. Okay, so we have now get our timestamp, so whenever we create and quote object, it gets like the current timestamp, and then we also need to check with the ID. I guess we have to do it via the quote manager also. Yeah, I think we have to do it over this way, so it's gonna edit as well. Int p ID, boom. Okay, in this case, if we generate a quote, we have the constructor, and that's gonna write all the data in, like this dot ID equals PID, then this dot quote author equals P author, and this dot quote equals P quote, and this dot timestamp equals get current, wait, this dot get current timestamp. There we go. Yo, Gatolen, we will raid World vs. World. We will raid today. In about 2 hours, then we're gonna switch over for Guild Wars. I'm just gonna want to try this year out. And Limon is asking if I have done any Python. No. I'm not even sure how the syntax is of Python, so I have actually no idea. I know that it exists, I know that it's broadly used, I even know that it's used for educational purpose very, very often, but I haven't ever used it before, so no idea. Yo, Lotionen, good afternoon, Zassy, good afternoon as well. And yes, this is C#. Okay, what we're talking about? Right, we got now the quote, constructor. We have done... It's like a bit fancy, like adding, you know, comments on it, like it's actually supposed to be. Unique identifier ID. I don't care. The person that added the... No, that not that added the quote, that said the quote. Maybe we should add like the person who added the quote as well. Okay, the quote itself. Maybe, I don't know. You tell me, guys, if it's a good idea or not. Then we can think about it. Time edit. Visual Studio 2013. Yes, Lotion. It's the current Visual Studio. You can see Professional 2013 Update 4. The reason why this, I'm a student, I'm an informatics student, I get the stuff for free from Microsoft, so yes, totally. Boom, let's look there, okay, there we go. Okay, returns the current timestamp. So whenever we create a quote, we get this data for the what we can use and what not. I think wait, we didn't get private set to make it properties for the XML serialization later. Very important thing. We'll see why. Okay, anyway, the class is then now pretty much done, at least in the internal components. So, for us interesting now, what does the quote manager do? Quote manager, first of all, has a list. Should it be a list? Could actually make a dictionary out of it, or hash that. But since we're like working with very low well, we're not playing around with like thousands or tens of quotes. In that case, a list is totally fine. Otherwise, I would recommend using like something like a hash set, for example, or a dictionary, because that stuff is way more performant than a list. But list is at least in the lower number regions, and lower numbers means like below like 10,000. The easier thing to use, because the other ones have some restrictions the lists don't have. I never could use this object. Confuse me. This is basically that you refer to this current object. In this case, it does not make sense because this gets added automatically if you don't specify it. But this is, it's just, let's say, best practice, because it's a error source that you like just eliminate. And for example, if you have like call like have like this parameter with the same name as ID, then you can say, okay, I want to like use this ID and then this ID. That's why I usually just add p. It's just to avoid confusion. Not more than less. Okay, that's then the, we call it then the quote list. Boom. Can define it here actually as well. So we have a list of quotes which gets initialized as soon as the object gets created. Then we need first of all constructor, which we do not specify any, for now. Okay, what commands do we need? First of all, we need an add quote command. Add quote. And want to take a quick think about. We make it void for now. So we need a add quote command. String. What do we need? We need p author and string p quote itself. Okay, then what do we need? What function do we need? String. Oh, quote. Okay, because we want to get a give a quote object back. Or shall we actually like do the formatting of the string there itself? Nah. We better make the VBA events then. Okay, that's a different story. So we have add quote, then we're gonna maybe add like also remove quotes. And in this case, we're just gonna take the easiest way, which is int PID. Maybe we also want to check if it's got successfully removed or not. If you create an instance of your class later on, this operator refers to that created instance. Yeah, this is the actual reason. Just to avoid confusion is how I would call it. Yeah, it's a right. So remove quote. What else do we need? Let me quickly check my Skype conversation yesterday because I got some stuff in there. Scroll. No. Okay, add quote. Yes. Some more show quotes. Yes, right. I want to get void get random quote. Okay, a random quote, and then maybe void get quote by ID. The ID. Oh wait, int the ID. So if you like want to get a quote by a specific ID, and maybe also let's say void get quote by user. But I would rather say get random quote. Get random quote by user. And then string p user. Okay, that's why I would say like the different functions we have. They also should be public. Oops. Okay, just in case you forget stuff. That's like an exception which you can throw when like you haven't implemented anything yet. It also like tells the compiler to shut up in the function. So everything after this is just like, okay, I don't care what comes. Listbildung.remove links, you can use that. Yes, but there's an easy way. You can just use link, for example, as well. I think we even have to use link. We see that. Okay, we have the quotes. We probably have to make the class, or like these ones, internal or something. Gonna see that then. So, remove quote. How to remove a quote? Like Insider said, we can just take the list, like quote list, and then remove. But the problem is we need to have a specific object. To get a specific object, you can use then quote list dot, how's it called again? Find element, I think. Yes. Okay, and then we can then pretty much define a match, and we want to find q dot. Wait, how was match specified again? Q, and then yeah, and then ID equals PID. Right. Then it gives one thingy back. Okay, we need to make the turnus first. Because we want to access it actually. Bing, bing, bing. There we go. So, what happens here? We give the function ID, move ID, then this function, quote list remove, gets called, and then we need to give it an object we want to remove. And for that we just go through the list, quote list.find, and find an object where we specify q is like the object we go through the list for, and then just like compare the stored ID with the ID we give, and if we find an object with set ID, then it gets removed. And this one gives back a bool. So I'm gonna actually just return this one. So if we find an object that gets removed, then it gives it back. Not it gives it back, then it says true, and if it does not get found, then it just returns false, and in this case gets thrown away. We will get notified if it's like worked or not. That's like the important thing. So add quote. Voids are not really necessary in this parameter. Okay, then we just need to, let's say, quote list.add, and what do we want to add? A new quote item. What do we need for a new quote item? Oh, a new ID. We haven't specified this one yet. For that we need a private function. Int get new ID, because we need to go through the list and find out if we find an ID which has not been used yet. You should put that into a for each quotes, find stuff, remove stuff. Ah. That's actually a good point. That's actually a good point. Since we really do not check for multiple stuff, which actually should not occur. Should not occur. But we don't have... We're not using database, so we cannot guarantee that's true. Let me quickly think about. Yeah, let's do that. For each quote queue in quote list. So that's basically a loop. So we go through every object in quote list. And we need first of all a remove list. So we know which objects to remove. So this quote, remove list equals new list, blah blah blah, there we go. So we go then through the quote list, to the list we have. And then we check every object in quote list. So if the object we look at, ID, equals PID. If that happens, then we say, okay, remove list.add Q. Then the object we just found, okay, it has the same ID as the ID we want to remove, put it to the remove list. So then everything's on the remove list. And then we just need to remove them. And how we do this? Another for each again. In this case, for Q in remove list actually. And then we're just gonna do, okay, we take then the quote list, remove Q, boom. That's actually like only one line, don't need the brackets. So, simple as that. And what do we return? Well, that depends on what we have. We can just like check. Well, the question is, did we actually find something that has to be removed? Or we can even like remove, or like return how many we removed. Nah, that does not make sense. Because should not happen that even. So we actually do like only one. So like we say if remove list.count is bigger than 0. So if we actually found at minimum one object we can, are supposed to remove, then we say, okay, true, you remove one, otherwise just return false. Okay, so in this case, we check like the entire list for everything with IDs, and if we found something multiple times, even then we just remove them as well. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to define how to get a new ID. So we have a list, we have the quote list, and we need to go through the list and check, or like at least iterate as long as we have not found any ID yet. How we do it? Let's make a for loop. Int e equals 0, e smaller. How do we specify unlimited for loops? It's a good question. How to specify to you unlimited for loops? I mean, I know you can interrupt them. Let's just say, like, let's go for 1000 for so far. Int e equals 0 equals e plus plus. Okay, what we do is we just check if the ID I is already used. And if not, we have an ID Y. So how we do it? Just check the quote list. Find. Oh no, that's fine. Sorry, exists. It's a different one. It's basically like find, but it just says like, okay, this object exists. No, this object exists not. This case we just say, okay, if we have a quote where the quote ID equals I. Let's not make it an if. Oh no, actually, well, yes. So if we find... No, actually, wait, much make different. Just say if we don't find an object in the list with the ID we are currently checking, then we just say, okay, return I. Boom. And then if we don't find one, then we just go for the next I, and the next I, and the next I, and so on, and so on, and so on. Until we find one. And if, in case we don't find one, we just, I don't know, return -1, just in case. I have to check it if you can like, actually make unlimited force. Let me think about it. Oh, yeah, we can. Why didn't I think about it earlier? Talking about, you will probably now kick me, but simply while true. We'll say, we have an counter, int e equals 0, and we just say, second, we just say I++ at the end of every iteration. So what we do, we get into the function, start at 0, have then the 0, check if it does not exist. If it does not exist, we give it back, otherwise we just say, okay, we get one higher, and then check again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And we iterate so long until we find a number that is not exist. The only problem that can occur is actually when we have, let's say, so many numbers that we actually like blow up the memory usage of the integer, which is something like 16 billion. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's a very unlikely case. It can happen, of course, but it's a case we don't need to cover. What if none exists? Yes, that's a question. There should always one exist. Otherwise, we're gonna end up in a while true loop, which will never stop. Let me think about. Yeah. It should always exist. Always. Well, like I said, the only case is when like E is like flowing over. But we will never ever reach that gap. They talk about integers. They're big. They're long. Oh, there. So we get a new ID basically. In this case, so we if we add a quote, you say okay, new quote, which we give them a new ID, like this. Then we just give them basically just p author and p vote. So like the data we already have, and then it adds it. Bracket missing. There we go. Try to make 2 integers if you get over int max. In that case, we would just make a long int if it would ever happen, but it will not happen. The only thing we could do is just make another check if we. Yeah. Yeah, let me just. Yeah, wait. Let me just make it different. We just make it with a for loop again. Let's do it with a for loop, but with the difference that we just go until int. Int dot max value. A++. There we go. And just put this stuff in here. So even if we ever reach the max value, smaller max value, there we go. So if we ever reach the max value, which will probably never ever happen, even if it ever happens, then we just say, okay, fuck the shit, just return -1. So in this case, we will never ever get caught in a loop, as we had with the other solution. But it's a case that will never happen, so who the fuck cares? Well, it can happen in some, let's say, dimension where we have billions and billions of quotes in the like saved, but in that case the file where we saw the stuff would like totally retarded big as well, so it would not make a difference. Okay, get new ID. So we have the new ID function, we get a new ID. Yeah, then we actually, what else do we need? Code manager, okay, that's something for later when we implement the stuff. Okay, get random quote. I would say we just do it with a string. We're gonna just make a bool here as well. No, wait, it just does not do anything. Okay, so where have we been? Get random quote. That's something. There we go. Get random quote. So how do we get a random quote? We have a list, and we need a random unit from it. There is a class in .NET which is called random. What a surprise! And to use random, we just use well, like let's create a random object and then just say rand dot next, and can then define between where. Which is basically between 0 and the number we specify, and that would be then the number we specify is the amount of quotes we have in the list. Just say, okay, object quote list dot count. So in this case, we just get a random number between 0 and I don't know, the amount of quotes we have, and then we can just like return one. In this case, just say, okay, return then quote list at position, also actually use index at a random position, and then just return it. Let's convert quote manager quote to string. Oh, right. Needs to be a quote object. So then we basically give the quote object back and can unblock with it. Shouldn't you add a seed into random? Yo, it's Sectoric. Yo, good evening. Seed in random makes only sense if you do multiple random functions at the same time. Otherwise, seed is not really. But we can use a seed. That's not a problem. What is random? It's right at the moment when we add a seed. Let's just take datetime dot UTC now dot milliseconds, for example, or ticks. Ticks. No. Can't we just take like milliseconds? Get the milliseconds component from the instance there. For example, in this case we have a random seed, which is something between 1 and 10,000. No, something between 1 and 1,000, which is nice. Yeah, it's Tonic. Of course you can. Go ahead, ask all the questions. But yeah, we have a random seed for the random generator, and every single time we add a random quote, we get something random. It's the only downside is of random. It's not super random, but it's random enough. It's random enough. Okay, that's it. The next thing is get quote by ID, which is also not that hard. It's just like return thingy. Quote list dot find. Then we just specify like quote qd id equals PID. It's just like we try to find the thingy. If we find it not, then not. Otherwise, it should actually return. Wait, does it throw the exception when it does not find anything? Okay, wait, I need to check that. Is that list.find? Yep, list.find. The thing is, I'm not sure if it throws an exception or just like returns null. That's an important question. That's German, by the way, yeah. Argument null exception. Okay, it throws actually an exception if it's null. So in that case, we need to make it a bit different. In this case, we make it try quote rq equals null, because I like to work with null objects. So what we do is then trying to assign the object with the ID to this factor, and we just then return this one. Catch block, I know. So, what does it do? It tries to find a quote with the ID. If it does not find a quote with the ID, it throws an exception, and in that case, if it does not find one, we just like return null. Null gets then checked in the other thing where we actually do it. Right. Google best fit of mathematicians. Yes. The thing is, you actually have to Google up a lot of stuff, literally a lot of stuff. For example, yeah, how is the syntax working, or when is like does this function throw an a thingy or not? Exception. Need to know it, cause I don't know if like this one just like returns null or throws an exception. In this case, we Googled it up. It's like, oh, okay, this actually throws an exception, so we have to use a try catch handle. So, It's a Tonic is 15 years old and cannot really decide on which programming language to use. He will use it then later in his occupation, and he does not know if web or software development. Oh, okay. Web and software development, both is necessary, but yeah, like Inside is saying, you need everything. The only difference is that software developer, at least from my perception, but I am a software developer, so I'm pretty much biased in that regard, is that you need like software developers that have experience and can actually, let's say, design. I'm not sure if you need that in web development, you probably need it as well. Humble. Start with C, because all the languages base on it. That's a good point. I'm not sure, because I have never learned C. I pretty much started with, what did we start actually? With Delphi, then C++, and then Java, and then some assembler, and since then I got stuck with C# and stayed with it. Yeah. And I think Insa is right. I mean, languages are tools. They are tools. It's like having a hammer or a screwdriver or a smartphone or a bottle of water you throw against someone's head. In the end, it's just a tool which you can learn. Some tools are easier to use, some tools are not easier to use, but in the end, every, let's say, field has its best practices you can learn. For software development, it's usually Java or C# or C++ for performance-critical applications, and for older programmers. And web development, I'm not sure. I've actually no idea about, not much idea about web development. I think I read a bit about ASP.NET and played around a bit with it, but I have no clue how it's used in, let's say, productive environments. It's actually used in the economy out there. Because ASP.NET is something I want to learn myself as well. Inside I did it already, so you may be able to tell us a bit about it. Wette faststellen Resultat. Okay, Inside says they look for everything. Let me just add one important thing to it. They look for good people, because quality code nowadays is really important. At least if you want to, let's say, a good product. So the code quality is very important as well. Yeah, and yeah, Inside is right as well. For example, at where I work, they're currently also looking for programmers in C# and .NET, but C# and .NET, in Java, in PHP, database management systems. They pretty much look for everything. But yeah, and I think, yeah, basically you can do everything, but you should decide on one and then get good in it, which then depends on what you want to do at the end, you know. Okay, we are talking a lot of stuff right now. Let's then quickly continue here. Get random quote by user. In this case, we provide a user string, like inside Thompson, or I don't know, walls of gap, for example, and then the quote goes through the list and picks up a random quote. What you could add later as well, if you have the basic functionality working, would be, for example, get random quote by keyword, for example, like get random quote by keyword. Keyword is then pawn, then it goes through the entire list. Every time where like pawn occurs, then oh my god, we found it. Return a random quote from the list. The principle in the end is the same. And the principle would be, we have a list of quotes again. Let's call it as I don't know, red list. Well, that's result list. Results list equals new list. Bam. There we go. So what do we need to do now? Is to go through the entire list again, which is quote list, code Q in quote list. So in this case we just check, okay, if quote dot quote author equals p user. I should totally put an if around it. So if this equals this, we just say result list dot add q, boom, finish. Now we have to be a bit careful, because what's happened, well, a case that just came to my mind is the case Twitch ISC writes everything down in lowercase, like all the names. But what happens if someone is looking for a name like I don't know, Inside Thompson with a capital I and a capital T? Then the parameter gets in here. So what we have to do, we actually have to make it like to lowercase. So it actually, you know, gets not complicated. But in this case we also need to add this to the removing. No, removing goes via this. But for also, yeah, like this. So in this case, we make sure that all added quotes have the also as lowercase. So if you like look for an also and you like make like different combinations, then it just doesn't matter. Quotes? Nah, we should keep them properly. So, anyway, we go basically through the quote list. Check every quote. Does the auto exist somewhere? If yes, edit the result list and then we have it. This also be a quote. Astudelia! Good afternoon. Can we code another cat out? A cat out? I don't know. But cat is currently not here. Cat is... This cat actually. Cat should be outside or somewhere. So, Dauren, did I make all this code by myself? Most of it. Insire helped me with, for example, with the interface. That one here. That is the interface that Insire designed for me. The thing is, I had not that much experience with WPF then, and he had tried out some stuff and it worked perfectly fine. So he did this, he also changed a bit of the main code here to fit it, but most of the code is mine, yes. Most of it. But Insire helped me a lot. Okay, so we pretty much have now the result list ready, put everything in, and then we need to fetch a random quote of it. Like, so first of all, check result list dot count if we actually have one quote. I just like just check if it's, you know, 0. If you don't have one, then we just say, I don't know, return null. Boom. Just need to make sure that if this case that we cover it later. You're making guild for sushis. Nah, that's not guild for sushis. It's working on my bot. Because I was in Nova Blue's channel a couple of days ago, and he got that Nightbot, and he then instantly started using the quote command. I was like, oh god, I need this. I need also a add quote function, and I thought about, okay, do I now take Nightbots and like use another bot and this and that and then? I thought, why? I could just code it myself. And I also thought about, people actually ask me about, why don't you make a program? Why don't you show us more about your work? And I was like, and I thought about, why just don't we combine both things? And what do we do now? We implement this, let's say, functionality. I totally want to have a musicbot, and basically do both things at the same time. Okay, wait. This is then fetch all second quotes by author p user. Check if the quote if minimum one quote has been found. If not, return null. What we need now is that we pick a random quote. Pick a random quote. We just basically do it as we did over here. Exactly the same. Wait, let me think about. Oh yeah, exactly. Just with the difference that we actually go through a quote list. So we create a random object with a random, well, not random seed, but let's say a pretty varying seed. Then we pick an object from the list, from the result list we have, and just take a random object from it and return it, and then we have it. So we have to both cases, it can return null and it can return a quote object. So did we miss any case? No. Let's need to make sure that all these ones can be null. Well, except this one. This cannot be null. Well, actually can be null as well. What did it list as null? Ah, it's actually good as well. Quote RQ equals null. Then we need to... Yeah, that's a case I totally did not cover yet. What if someone uses get random quote without us having a quote yet? Let's say RQ equals this one. we'll make a try-catch block, because I don't want to get an index out of, like an index out of blah blah exception. Because it can always happen. So in this case, we just define an object, like try to assign it, in case it does not exist, and then just return this object. If it doesn't exist, and returns null, otherwise it just returns a random quote. Okay, just to make sure that stuff does not blow up here. What about this one? Get quote by ID, this is a try-catch block, can be null. Null is covered as well. Get new ID, that's a private function. Okay. Oh, we have already all the functions. That's nice. Okay, so we basically have now the different commands, which would be, for example, add quote, remove quote, get a random quote, get quote by ID, get random quote by user, and so on and so on. So we have these. Let's check if count equals then try catchable. Yeah, that's actually better. But we don't need to use try catch then in this case in your solution. We just say make it simple. We just check if quote list.count bigger 0. That's right. Like this. So if we get a 0, then we just fetch a random one, otherwise we just return null. And the null checking, that's what we do when we like use the command in the IRC client, like somewhere here, which is also a total mess. I can show the mess later. It's really a mess. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so we have now this stuff and this stuff. So yeah, okay. Now the big interesting questions. How do we save the quotes? Yes, because we have now like we get the quotes, we can remove the quotes, we can get random quotes and so on. But the question is, how do we save them? Save them like persistently. So if we like shut down the musicbot, that the quotes like stay saved, that they don't like disappear. In this case, we use. Wait 1 second, what's inside writing? If you don't put, wait, let's check if consumer, if you put that in front of rq.listenext, then you need parentheses. I'm not sure what you mean by parentheses. Okay, but we have another problem. Well, not a problem, it's actually a pretty simple problem. We need to store the data persistently. And for that, I would say we just, yes, serializing into the XML file. That's the exact idea of it. Okay, we need a function again. Call just void save list to XML file. Save list to XML. Boom. Yeah. Okay. How was it again? We need an XML serializer. Yeah, we need to import it now because we don't have it. Serializer equals new XML serializer type of oh, how was it again? Do I need to put in a container as well? No, it should be actually. This should work. I hope. I hope it works. If not, we will find a different solution. Ooh, it works. We can just take the entire list. Parentheses, Klammern quasi. Oh. Interesting word. I have never ever known that before. Okay, so we have now the serializer. Then we need to. How was the thing again? I think it was serialize. The rest is what's XML document to file. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For this, now very important. Now we go into a topic called disposable objects, such as file streams, for example. Basically, a big problem is if you like write a file, open a file, whatsoever, the process like claims ownership over the file, and then tries to work with it. The problem is if the program crashes, the process still has ownership over the file, and no process can use it as well. In this case, we need the so-called using parameter, because in using we can like define or like can use the disposable interface. So basically we just use an object in between these brackets, and if we then like finish the work in these brackets, then it just like throws it away. Like disposes it properly, like takes it and puts it into the bin. And you know. No, Gabby is here. Hi Gabby. Totally did not sleep in. Yes. Okay, Gabby, you already missed a bit. We pretty much wrote like most of the functions already. Now we are currently working in getting serialization done. What was it? It was file stream, I think. I think it was file stream what we need. Yes, this is my new stream equals new file stream, and then we need to give them the path. Ah, there. String path. Yeah, should we give it a specific name? Let's just call it quote list.xml. Like in the same directory. I'm not sure if it's like properly. 1 second. Just to check it here. Some path, blah 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 blah. Do I even it here as well? The lines. Yeah, should be right. Okay, so we just say like, okay, gonna create a file stream at this position, and file access. We just need write, I think. Write access to the file, data can be written to the file, combined with read for read-write access. Fuck read-write, we don't need read-write. But yeah, so what we do, we create. This will be for string. That thing may be stupid. Some invalid arguments. What? Maybe I need thingy? Oh, come on. So, something you can use if you want to. Let me check. Oh. Oh, that's a general one. Nice. But I basically just wanted to use this one. Global collection, that's what to use. Subdirectory, okay, subdirectory is uninteresting. File name, file format, yep. Path. The stream writer. Still using the stream writer. Wait. Oh! Right, yeah. File stream is just. What's it called? Yeah, that's a file stream, maybe a bit thingy. Level 2 abstract. Access? No. This then be fine, I guess. Exploiter can be sectional class abstract. A stream writer is it? Yeah, abstract class, always fun. Okay. Oh, Gabby got coffee. Yeah, I also had a coffee earlier. Coffee! I will need more coffee later as well. Anyway, we use here now, like we create a stream writer at this position, which is like codeless.xml, and then we just like write the stuff in there. I'm not entirely sure how the syntax was again. Okay, serialize on the writer with the item list. Yeah, then let's just take it. Boom. That's the stream. Items is... Wait, first of all, this. And the items we're gonna use is the code list. That's we're gonna poop in there. Code list, and then stream.close. Very important. Stream closes anyway if we like crash out here. It's just like you to make sure stuff. So, path. Yep. Validate subdirectory. I bet that is get full path. I'm not sure what he does if the file does not exist. That's something we have to check out. I think it throws an exception. Let me quickly think about. Wait, I have it somewhere else. I think it was... No, that was not here. I think one thing about programming is reuse. You reuse so much stuff. Ah, here. If path does not exist. Okay, that's what I wanted. You basically reuse a lot of stuff. Basically, a lot of stuff. Okay, let's take the entire thing. So, the reason, what we do here is, we check if the file exists. 1 second. Let's make it now easy, because we use it like multiple times. String path equals, that stuff. Bam. What we do is we check if a path exists. If it does not exist, we create a new file there, like a dummy file, because the file needs to be there, otherwise it throws exceptions and input-output errors and blah 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 blah. Since it's inside a using block. Inside, yes, I'm not sure, but in the end it doesn't matter. Well, better be secure, but no. The thing is, like, what is I saying? We are using a using block. Using is best practice. Best practice in terms of you take an object, work with it, like, I don't know, do stuff, and then you put it like into the bin and like dispose it properly. It's like recycling. Actually, it's not recycling. It's just like putting stuff into the trash properly. What you usually can do in modern program languages like .NET or Java is just like, okay, I don't need the object anymore. I just don't care. It's still in the memory, but at some point in time the garbage collector takes it and throws it away. But there are some object types, especially like the older ones that are like directly working with operating systems. For example, screenwriters or web clients or whatsoever. And these ones need to be careful, because these objects need to be disposed. You need to tell them, like, you need to put them explicitly into the trash bin. Because the system does not do it automatically, because the system thinks, okay, this thing still does stuff, so I may need it somewhere. So it does not put it away itself. In this case, we decide, okay, we now take this object and just use this for this path, like for this part, and after the part we put it into the trash. So, and what stream close does is it says it like on purpose, put it in the trash, and if you like tell it twice, it doesn't matter. Or just in case, and I'm not sure if like dispose like calls close or not. I just want to make sure. Where's the pew pew? Yo, Deluxy! Pew pew will happen in an hour when we're gonna switch over for Guild Wars. For now we have a bit of programming going on. Some awesome programming. And then you have write list into XML file. Boom, that's it. So, yeah, what do we have here now? Save list to XML, but we also need the other thing, which is basically load list from XML. Which then also brings me then, let me totally forget something. We gotta put the path over here, so we actually don't miss it, because we're gonna need it now as well. Basically what we do is now, instead of having it in both functions, just put it like on the top, so we don't have redundancy, because redundancy is bad. How one of my pros would say. It's not always bad, but like most cases it's bad. But there are some cases where redundancy is actually good in terms of performance. That's a very long discussion. Okay, so what do we need now? Now we need a function to not like write the stuff, but actually read the stuff. So in this case, load list from XML. Boom. Yeah, and here we basically do the same. So XML deserializer equals new XML serializer, type of this quote, blah 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 blah. It's basically it's basically we just tell the serializer how the object we wanna get has to look like. Then we check if like if the file exists. Check if file exists. I mean, it can always happen if it does not exist. For example, no one has ever used like write it yet, or someone deleted the file or whatever. Thing is, we need to cover all the cases. So if the file does not exist, we just say return new list quotes. There we go. So basically, we just return an empty list if we don't find anything. Finished. It's not dark magic. So, what is shit stream? Huh? Wow, wow. Oh, it's inside. Okay, inside sports. Let me check that. Using. Yes, that's using. That's using. Yep. Oh, fonts are using as well. Okay, didn't know that. But yeah, for those interested in what using is doing, how you use it, and so on, Insire posted a pretty nice link over there. That's the German version, but there's somewhere there should be an English button. Just saying. Okay, so we are checking out the file exists. If not, if file exists, then yeah, just load file. Okay, first of all, we need a list where we like a definition of a list where we store the stuff, and then we're gonna use a using again. And in this case, we're gonna use text writer, but it's called text reader, I think. Just hope that it does not blow up. So text reader stream equals new stream reader. Please don't blow up. It's not blowing up. That's good. So now we pretty much do the same, with the difference that we actually have a thingy, a reader. So what do we know? Deserializer dot deserialize, and we're gonna deserialize it on the stream, and it returns then the object, right? And the object is no, it probably he cries now because it's the deserialize function is the general function, which just says, okay, I'm just gonna give you an object back, and object can be everything. In this case, we need to specify how, well, like what the object is, and since we like specified it in the serializer itself, we just give it back. And I've just said, okay, this object is a list quote object, write it in there then, and then yeah, then it writes it in there. Then let's say return list. Boom. We now know the true face of Lizard Squad. Oh. No, you would be that is not even advanced. That's just like basic programming stuff. I wouldn't call this advanced. So in this case, we just load this from XML. And when do we need it actually? Very simple. We start the program. So we have the quote manager, which is the constructor. So when do we actually create the quote manager? Then we need to like use the function. So in this case, just say quote list equals load file from XML. Boom. So every single time, or like when this object gets generated, like the quote module, we're gonna refer to it now, then it loads the stuff from XML, writes it in the list, and everyone is happy. Yeah, and then the other question is, when is it supposed to save stuff? Well, actually, every single time the list got modified. Since I have no idea yet how to use the iProperty changed interface, yes, there's actually interface for, then just do it like manually. And when does stuff get changed? Well, very simple. Every single time we add or remove something, which would be here, like after the quote got added, or after we remove the quote. In this case, we need then the brackets, like this. There we go. So, like, if we add something or if we remove something, then we need to save the file again. Simple as that. A bit. Well, there we go. Yeah, did I miss anything? Let's need to use the flux capacitor resemble. Wow. Ah, Triple Q, you missed Ludum there a few days ago. What is Ludum there? Not sure. But yeah, we are doing some programming because people asked for it, and I like the idea, and I want to try it out myself how it's working. And so far, it's going pretty awesome. We are making pretty good progress. Also, guys have some pretty good feedback so far. I think the debugging process later on will be very easy. But anyway, we got now the class ready so far. Now we need to first of all like do all this stuff here. Make sure which functions can be used and which not. Yeah, that's the constructor that is necessary. The class need to be public. The quote class need to be public as well. Ah, fuck it, just make everything public here. Since it does not really matter. Wait, no. That one not. These ones, the properties are private set, so we can read all these things, but we cannot write them. Inside says when you add the interface to your class, you can right-click the interface and tell Visual to implement it. Oh, that's so interesting. May try that out later. Okay, public class playlist item. Oh no, wait. Just wait. I notify... no, better not. I don't want to blow up stuff. But that's actually a good idea. And in that case, we need... We'll actually just go for it here. Then, like, observe. Fuck it. I'm gonna do that summon later. Okay, now we have the quote manager. It gets initialized, loads the stuff from XML, writes the list. List is not anyway. And then we have the list. And then we can, like, add stuff, remove stuff, get random quotes by ID, by user. Yep. And it also writes everything in the lowercase. Good. Did I miss anything? No. Okay, yeah, so we pretty much got, like, let's say, the quote manager gun. It's not much. Okay, so, why you not work? I actually worked earlier today a bit, like about 2 hours. Made some spreadsheets, yes. I love doing spreadsheets. No, I actually don't. And did some programming stuff, and I made some slight progress. Not as much as I would want to, but slight progress. Right. Oh, Kipaku is here. Wow. A very, very rare guest. How are we doing? And yes, my English improved actually a lot. Also from my own perception, but that happens like if you manage to talk like 6 hours a day straight English for the last... Since when did we start the commentary? I don't know, half a year? No, more. Oh, half a year? Half a year actually. No, wait. 3/4 of a year. Wow, that's actually a long time. So, Moo, I see you are good with the programming stuff. Can you make me and Gap a gold generator for Guild Wars 2? Wow! You would be surprised I had one in the past. Problem is then I lost the macro. Oh, sorry. Long story. I can tell you about it like later when we jump into Guild Wars. But for now I would want to finish it before we like run out of time, because I want to start on usual time with Guild Wars. So, yeah, that's a command list, which is basically just one big fat thing of text, which is just incredibly annoying, so I don't care. Okay, we need now the commands itself. Let's just add another region here, because why not? Yes, I know it's very, very bad best practice, but it's part of the code I don't want to touch, because it's working. I don't want to touch it, you know? And, okay, that's then the, how do we call it? The code commands. Won't be many though. And region. Region is basically, what you can do is, you can like specify region in the code, and then just collapse it, like this. Boom. Oh my god, where's all the code? You don't see it, you don't need it. But yeah. So, which commands do we need? We need commands add quote, get random, like what I just quote, and so on. I would say we have, I can just get a random one here, and there we go. If regex. Boom. So, we just say, if we have a command called add, well, first of all, quote. Then, let's have do stuff, return. And then we need one for add quote. And then we need one for remove quote, I think. Yes. That's like the ones we need. Remove quote can then be by ID, they can be like differentiate between if it's an integer or string or whatever. That works. Okay, let's start with the quote first. I would say... Wait, let me think about... Do we have quotes? Do we have add get quote random by ID and by string? Okay, so we have to first of all check if it's a string. Or not, an integer, first of all. So we say int num equals then int dot try pass. No wait, pass. Oh, let's think about if. Oh. Int num check if it was int dot try pass is then the string, which would be input string 1. Input string 0 is the command usually. Oh, wait. God, which one was it again? But I have it somewhere else. What is S now? Ah, okay, S is the split one. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, yes, like I said, the code is a mess. I don't care. We don't want inputs, we want S. So, if the stuff behind the command, behind the quote, is an integer, that's what we do here. If it is an integer, why does it not work now? Purpose string out has some invalid argument. Oh, right, I need to specify out. Does it work now? Yes. So, basically what we do, we check if this piece of text that comes in, like quote, I don't know, Gabby, if it's an integer, the Gabby. If it's not an integer, then we do some other stuff. Now for now we cover the case if it is an integer, then we use which we told you to have not initialized that thing yet. Yeah, we need to let the thing this is need the quote manager first. So quote module, then we need to initialize it first. Then quote module equals new quote module. Bum bum bum. Read anything else? Let me think about. No, that's fine. So then we can do. So if it actually is a number, then we can say quote module dot get random or get quote by ID, and can then say ID is what is ID? Oh right, num is ID. So let me get the quote object. Also need the quote. Quote Q. Oh, we have to import it. So does it? Fuck. Okay. So we have the code Q, which gets then set in here if we have an ID. If we don't have an ID, we're gonna say then Q equals quote module dot get quote by user, which is Q. Oh, not Q, sorry. SO1, this part here. I'm gonna try to find the one by user. If it does not work, if you don't like get a quote here or here, it gets null, it stays null. Let's put that null as well. Gonna try to, if we try to catch it by number, if it doesn't catch by number, we're gonna use it by string. It also reminds me we also need an else if s. Wait, let me think about s dot count. Oh. God. Oh, s dot length. It's a string. Number of elements in the ultimate array. The array is a string array if the length of the array is only 1. Means we have like only the quote block and then nothing behind. Then we just like say q get random quotes, get random. Boom. Okay, have a quick check on the chat because if I don't miss anything here. Scroll. Arcade. Try pass is still used. I think so. Yes, we still use it. It's a pretty good thingy to use actually here in this case. So, it's Tutorial. Meine Nebenfragen, welche Language werden Hacks für Code Battlefield so geschrieben? Depends on. Probably C or C++, like inside saying. The problem is, this language here is called a managed language. Managed language means you have a lot of stuff that gets done by the system. You also have a concept called the black box. Basically, the programs you write with .NET or like with C# or Java, both work very similar. They work like in their own black box, and they can only use the memory they have access to. So they can't go like into Call of Duty or CSGO and like do stuff there. They can't, because they don't have access to. And the languages they actually have access to is, for example, C or C++. For example, because you can in C++ you can say, okay, I want to access exactly this part of the memory. Exactly this part. And say like, okay, this is not 100, but 200. For example, gold in a game. So you want to, so you write exactly this point of the memory. Which you cannot do here. Well, you can, but you don't. You can like turn manage code off here and then like use unsafe code and so on, but it's advanced stuff we will never touch, because we don't need it. It's in theory possible you don't do it. Well, sometimes you do, but you won't. Okay, anyway. We have now the quote command edit. Basically we have the three cases. If we find out if it's an ID or not, then we try to catch the ID. If it's like only the quote, then it like gets a random quote. And if it's actually a quote with a string, then it tries to find out, or like tries to find a user. So now we have the case that Q is either null or has something. In this case we need to differentiate again. If Q equals null, then we say send message to channel. What is the bot supposed to say? Let's say no quote found. I don't care. If you have a bad idea, tell me. And then else. Yeah, now we can like send message to channel. Now we can like think about I don't know. Let's quote ID or quote number plus Q dot ID plus and we can how do we do it? Then we put the quote plus Q dot quote itself plus. Wait, we also need to put escape thing because we want to put it in brackets like this. That's an escape character, so the compiler, or like the program, or like compiler sees like, okay, this says that this is actually the thingy and not like the differentiation between string or not string. Okay, in this case we need the thingy again. So we say like quote ID, then the quote. And then we say we want the tilde and then plus Q dot author name. Yeah, then maybe a space. And then Q dot 1 second. Q dot how are we supposed to write the timestamp? I would say day, month, year. Day, month, year. This guy should like maybe a quick. Wait 1 second. Yeah, we gotta split it up a bit. I say string time string dot empty. So we get an empty string, and then we're gonna like fill the string with time data. Time string equals then Q dot timestamp dot day gets the day of the month used by this instance. Day plus dot there was another way, I forgot it totally. Hey Harandir, good evening. Oh, good afternoon. How was that? Oh wait, that was then string dot format. Oh god, how was it working again? Format string was then day dot month dot year, and then the string itself was then god damn it, Q dot timestamp dot toString. Oh god. I hope that works. Probably not. The thing is, the format function is incredibly it's a bitch, literally. That thing is a bitch. When it works, but otherwise it's a bitch. It really is. So we're just gonna try it out. If it throws an exception, we're just gonna try to find something. If anyone is bored enough to Google around how to get a proper formatted string with the string.format methods in day, day, month, month, year, feel free to do so. Feel free. How did the Hope GVG go? I'm not sure. Not even sure if we did one. I wasn't here yesterday. Was there one round? Oh, Gabby. Yesterday I wasn't here, Gabby. Yesterday I wasn't here. Today we're gonna destroy you entirely. Like, take a bazooka and then BAM! That's for later. Okay. So we pretty much now have the string, which then says like quote numbers so and so, then the quote brackets off, and then the also like words of gap, for example, plus time string, so that we know when it was. Okay. Do we need anything else? That's two cases we have, don't we? We use quote. We either have a quote, we don't have a quote. This date to string day, day, year. Okay. Oh. Yeah, but day, day, year. I'm not sure. I want to have like this format here. But this function to string calls pretty much this function here, so it should be pretty much the same. Ah, fuck, we just do it your way. Timestring is then q.timestamp.toString, and then we can specify day, day, month, month, year, year. I guess go for retard on it. Like this. Yeah. Ah, fuck it. We just do it how inside said. That actually looks better. Looks way better. Okay, so we get a time string out. Time string then gets added at the end. Okay, that's for the case if we use the quote command. Okay, now we need the add quote command, which is basically just quote module, then add quote, and then like author is, oh god, who was the author? Where was it again? Author source.name. That's the author. Region. There we go. So, no, wait. Think about. No, it's the author of the quote. That's why. So we actually have then to use then as one. We have to add a specific syntax, like slash exclamation mark add quote, then the name of the person, like words of Gabby, and then a quote like I like porn. We have to be careful that we do it like this. And then a quote, which would be done the rest of the message, probably. How do we get that? What string splits new? Where was that again? Oh god. Source string versus input string. It's the entire string that gets put in. Entire input string. And then we have to split it apart as well. Ugh. Yeah, then the string quote equals string.empty. Boom. Okay, what do we need to get out? We need to get the add quote out and the name. The name is s1. So we just say quote equals string input string dot replace. The old char is then. Wait, we have to use it actually twice. Do we? Yeah. I know this is an incredibly ugly solution. If anyone has a better solution, feel free to help me. Otherwise, I'm just gonna do it as I think how I'm gonna do it. Remove name equals s1. Then yes, that's the name part basically, like the first parameter. Yo, Mac and Geo, that's C#. .NET. So we replace then first the add quote. That's what we need to replace first because we don't need it. replace it with nothing, like this. And then we need to replace quote dot replace. Can't we just like use move? Second. Not sure if we can put a string in there. Nah, we can't. And then replace. And in this case we need the move name. And then like replace it with empty space. Think about, yeah, that should actually do it. That may give some problems later. We're gonna see if it works or not. Right. By the way, in half an hour we're gonna switch over for Guild Wars. I'm not sure if we're gonna manage to do it. We'll still like be able to implement it, but debugging will probably be something I will like do like at the night or tomorrow or whatsoever. Not entirely sure if we manage to do it. I also have to shut down OBS then shortly to change resolution and so on. But yeah. Okay, add quote. The second parameter was the quote itself, which was that quote. And then we just add the quote and then also write a message like never to the channel. Yeah, like say like quote added with. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We can actually, if we add a quote, can like return the quote. Does it actually turn it back? Wait. Quote Q equals the new quote. Like this. Then we say add quote and save this XML and then return Q. Yes, because now since we now return the quote, we can actually use it. Like say like quote Q equals like that what we get back. Because we can use it then like this. So we get now the Q out of it. And then we say like Q added with ID and then like plus second number or like quote added 4 and then Q dot quote author plus for the author with ID number Q dot ID. Boom, I think it should be the proper. That's what it's supposed to say. And then like a dot. Okay, so it writes into the channel and then it gets added. So next one, remove quote. The last command we need to add. Ah, Magnus AFK. You can do string replace. Oh. We think about? You can? Replace. It's good to know. Yeah, that should do the same. Yeah, replace is like using 2 times replace to just like have cleaner code. Right, so third command, remove quote. Maybe we should actually check. Let's should like actually check if it actually works or not. Let's make a try catch around it. If it does not work, we just say like send message to channel. I don't know. Quote could not be added. So if someone like fails, for example, like just use add quote and then not using a name or whatever, or like not specifying quote and you know, this kind of stuff. So if anything like breaks here, then just says could not be added. Okay, that's okay. This is Chinese to me. No, yeah, programming can be Chinese if you actually lack the experience, but it's actually kind of easy though. It's not that hard. It's just a question of getting used to it. Anyway, you need now the third command, which is remove quote. And in this case, we can how do we specify that what we can use? Remove quote by ID. Yes, basically just by an ID. Devin. In this case, we just say like we had over here. wait. No, just just say here in this case. Try, because we try catch block again. We say int e equals int dot pass. For int dot pass we use s1 because that should be the ID. If it does not work, then it's wait, we need to put it actually outside, like here. So we're gonna try to get I. Need to. So we're gonna try to fetch I. If it does not work, then get exception. Then just say send message to channel. Say like could not pass ID. Int blah whatever. It should actually catch. Now let's come back. There we go. So we try to pass it then. If it doesn't work, blah. This was an error, and then we use then the quote manager. Say then, oh, not there we go. Remove quote by ID. ID is then I. And if it worked, then we just say, just say like a message like, wait. Send message to channel. Say then, quote with ID, then I dot then has been removed dot, and then else just say send message to channel quote ID not found whatsoever. Boom. And then he like return. Okay, that's the both cases we have. So he tries to figure out the ID and so on, and then tries to move it. It does not remove, then it puts like a parcel. Oh, we also need to return then, because it should not continue then with the stuff. Okay, so we can actually make that now, can't we? Nope. Anyway, so we have now the commands running. Commands are integrated. We can fill it. We can write the stuff. We can read the stuff. From the code manager, what do we need? I think that's it. I think we can start testing it out. What? What is now blowing up? What is blowing up? Is it release build? Release build. Is that maybe a problem with that file? It's probably something with the VLC player or whatsoever. Oh, fuck it. Build. Yeah, it takes a bit because I use like multiple libraries and these also have to be compiled as well and blah. Some of them are pretty big though. No, I didn't broke it. Sometimes it's like a problem. For example, oh, there we go. It's loading. It takes a bit to load. You will sell the spot when you're done. Nah, I will not sell it. Why should I? The problem is the code is a mess. It would be actually, let's say, bad for reputation. Oh, what is this? Look here. What can you dafür? Oh, yeah. This is now bad for. Okay. Yeah, in this case we made a little mistake because we did not specify a parameterless constructor for the quote. Yes, I think it's actually this one. Public quote serialization constructor, because it uses it. I haven't designed it, but it needs it. Way to go, you broke it. Yes, this is now debugging. Basically, you design something, then implement it, and then you debug it. And we're now at the third step, at debugging. Which is like trying to get it to run, check if there are any bugs or whatsoever. It's a tonic size, which... Okay, wait 1 second. It needs to be public. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now we have to pretty much put everything into public because the serializer needs it in public and whatsoever. I haven't designed it. I need to actually... Oh, fuck that shit. Yeah. That's the downside of serialization. Everything has to be public. Everything. Otherwise, you get like an exception because, oh my god, this is not public, I can't write on it. I'm not even sure which namespace is trying to access it. So it's kinda, you know, strange. I guess we got like the big stuff. Yep, okay, so musicbot pretty much compiled entirely without giving any problems, no connecting. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna wait quick. Let me quickly check if we like wrote the file, the quote file. Oh wait, we haven't added the quote yet, so I should actually not write it. But yeah. So then let me add a quote. Add quote walls of gap. I like pawn. There we go. Quote add walls of gap. I like pawn with ID number. There we go. And we now also have a file. Just was a file popping up. Where is it? I can't find it. Where is it? Wow. Okay, there's also some problem with the asterisks. Gonna do that soon. But I want to find this thingy. Supposed to finally release. It's in the right folder. Oh, it's an XML. Yeah, I forgot it. The editor. There we have it. Okay, basically array of quote, XML, blah 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 blah. And there we have it. I like pawn. Okay. Timestamp. 20th April 2015, worked perfectly as well. So yeah, then we can add some quotes more, like just use add quote without, like this. Quote could not be added. Or then use add quote inside blob, whatsoever. It's working, then we say just quote. Index was out of the array range. Okay. 1 second. Get random quotes. Count equals 0. Let me quickly check it. It's not supposed to happen. Index was out of bound. Why is it? Where is it? It's probably like breaking here somewhere. Index out of, where's the index out of bound exception? Maybe here. Ah. Yeah, I also like slightly up. Yeah, this has to come like first. Because it like tries to check the first if first and it cannot work because like throws an exception. So we have to make this like else if. Legacy. And we also need to change the quote stuff itself, which was here. Quote number ID plus. Why is it not working? It is the escape. Then the quote. Or we failed on the other side. Oh, yeah. There we failed. Code added for user with... What did it say earlier? It said... Code added for instance... Okay, that worked. Code 0. Wait. Quote 1, Gabby. That it blew up. Code by user. Here. Quote, then the ID. That worked. So then we got the thingy. Do quote. And also, what? Okay, let's try it again. That's not working as it's supposed to. Maybe we entered in the wrong direction? Hopefully not. Yeah, the bot spit out some good stuff. But yeah, this is now basically, you know, debugging. Can be really annoying though. Okay. We will not use this one here today because I need to add some minor gimmicks as well because we will not get ready in time. Okay, first of all, quote. I'm gonna try this one. Okay, it's now jumping out here. That should work. Let me check the quote itself. Quote ID check. Ah, yeah, okay. Something went wrong with the insert. That might explain it. Now, Gabby, it's add quote, add quote, add quote, add quote. But yeah, something failed with the add quote here. Where is it? There. I guess we have to do it differently. Wow! Wow, Gabby, wow! Okay. Let me quickly do this stuff here then. The add quote was failing. We have the quote, and the quote is then input string dot replace, and we replace what did we say? S1. Wait, S1. This with like nothing, and replace. What did we say? Wait, that's the name. That needs to be lowercase. Lowercase, lowercase, lowercase. To lower. That's the way I think. This is what you think about. Because IRC works kind of strange with Twitch. Then replace the second one was the add quote. That with nothing as well. Boom. That should work. And then quote would add quote. Quote add quote works with the string the author, which is S1, and then p quote. We're just gonna make a little stop there to check how the strings look like. Yo, BMX! Good evening, good evening. Okay, gonna wait. The reason why it takes so long to load is because of a lot of API calls in there. For example, from the Twitch API connector. No, manager was it, I think. Yeah, for example, every time you start, he goes pretty much through the entire subscriber list and also to the hosting list and checks, okay, is this hosting, is this one subscriber, blah 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 blah, a lot of stuff. Okay, we got the bot now, and we're gonna try to add a quote now, like exclamation mark quote, I don't know, give me BMX, and then I like cats. No quote found. Why is that failing? Why is that failing? Oh! Yeah, not quote, actually add quote. Sorry, I'm a retard. So, we're now inside here. You can see everything? You can see everything. Okay, S. That's the one. Ah, it doesn't split it. It doesn't split it here. Huh? Need to split this one then first. Okay, then we need to... Up to lower. To lower doesn't matter because I see split. I need to use then char separator, which is the space. So we split this and then use the first one, which is the name, and place then the name. What does it not? Wow. So we take that like the remaining stuff, make a split at the next white space. It should work. That should work. Hopefully. Okay, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Yeah, compiling. Compiling. Takes so long. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. So, I'm just gonna use the BMX thing again. And then we have a look at it, how it actually looks like. And then we can decide, okay, this is working or this is not working. So, now it's connected. There we go. There we got it now. Now we got a quote, string quote. I like cats. Oh, Oh yeah, I forgot something. Ah, for fuck's sake, string name equals this. And then we just use like the name instead. Yeah, that's like one big downside of .NET. Well, you actually can... it's pretty annoying in .NET that you like have to recompile the stuff every single time. You can like do it like Java with interpreting that you just like press on pause, change the code and then just go again. Add quote, you broke it. musicbot 2K15. Oh, come on, Gabby. That's programming. Like trial and error for the last tests. But yeah, we got actually pretty far in the last 2 hours, which is nice. I like it. Okay, and again. I'm gonna wait until he connected to the IRC. The thing is, he doesn't take so long. The only problem is that the IRC.net is kinda bad. Okay, we are now in here. The name, you can see here, BMX Node HD. He's now jumping, and I got on the quote, I like cats. And he is now... I failed again. There we go. Okay, let's know then the name. Now it should work. Should. Hopefully. Gonna see if it blows up or not. Yo, Wouter! Good evening, good evening. In about 15 minutes, after we did some initial tests, we will jump into Guild Wars. I'm gonna take like 10 minutes break, and then we will directly jump into Guild Wars as always. Right. And then we will talk about what we did here, of course. Because I want feedback from you guys. I want to know, okay, this was awesome, let's do it again. Or like, okay, maybe a bit more explaining and then actual coding. I can do it as well. I can't teach you much, but I can teach you some things, like the basics. Okay, add quote, there we go. Now we got a quote object, the queue. You can see ID number 4, quote, I like cats. The author is BMX, obviously. And you can see there's a white space in there. You may want to remove that. How many are there? Are there 2? 1, 2? Yeah, the thing is, these white space, they're like always there. So in this case, we just say... we can just say like quote.remove. Then say like from index 0 to number of characters to delete. The first 2. That should work. Let's try it out. Ah, did he edit it? Yeah, he edited it already. Let's just check it out. So. Grammatik und so, Mix-Sachen wie Grammatik und so. Well, inside that's not... Well, yeah. Inside is right. The thing is, in studies, you learn programming, but on a very basic level. Very basic level means you learn like, okay, this is Java, and this is how you like go iterate through an array. The problem is, if you want to program properly, you need to learn it yourself. You have to. Okay, we're gonna try it again. I like cats, so we got now the quote. Where is it? There. Quote object, I like cats. Why does it... Wait, don't tell me that thing actually returns a string. Ah! Yeah, that's what I hate on string operations. Every single operation on a string creates a new string. So in this case, if you remove something, I mean, say like remove from 0 to 2, it doesn't remove it. It just like returns you a new string. So we have to then fetch the new string and then... And yes, inside is right again. Programming is a lot of math. I can quickly show you while we wait for the IC to connect my code I'm currently working on. I showed you a bit already, but it's a bit more complex. I can show you some math, some geometric stuff quickly. I have like a couple of minutes left. Let me quickly check this one here. There we go, it's added. There's the quote object. I like cats, BMX, timestamp. Yep, looks good. Continue. Boom. Then we just say quote BMX. I like cats. Okay, that one is just wrongly added. Don't worry because of the white space, because we had it. Okay, quote then with number, say 6. I like it. There we go. That's the proper formatting. That's how it goes, guys. And if I say then remove quote 6 has been removed, then quote numbers tried to use 6, then no cure font. That's how it goes. Fancy. The mask stuff I was talking about. Okay, it's a bit old code. It's a bit old code. Basically, what I'm doing here is using like trying to implement a concave hull algorithm, which is where how to describe it? Paint. Best thing to describe stuff. It's a geometrical problem. Imagine you have a. Oh god, that's too small. Give me something bigger. Like this one. Okay, imagine we have a point cloud. All these kind of points here, yes? Okay. Then there's a thing called the convex hull. Convex hull means you have a like the biggest possible area of the point cloud. This is a convex hull. But sometimes you actually want to have the concave hull, which is like a conditioned convex hull. And the concave hull does like you take like an edge and then like concave hull you take an edge and then try to find a better solution by going like inside the hull. And it iterates through all of them, and it's a lot of mass, a lot of wrinkled, a lot of angled stuff, and blah. That's what I'm currently working on. I can't show you anything yet because it's not working. I still need to debug it. Well, it is working, just the results are wrong. So not sure what is broken. Should be able to show you some stuff in the next days, but it's a lot of math, a shit ton of math. If you think you will not need math for programming in the study, then you are wrong. You're totally wrong. It's a lot of math, shit ton of math. Okay. So much about that. Okay, this is working. One important thing is then the add quote command. Yes, I know. Needs to be. It should be. Well, we talked with Jenny about it. Because it could be spammed, it should be subscriber only and or mod only, I think. Which is some request you can just use then. This one here. This if question. Which is then. Let's make a check here again. Like this. If the guy is subscriber or operator, blah blah blah, then do this. Otherwise, nope. Very important. Okay, remove quote should be in my eye thingy only, like mod only command, you know. Yeah. No, wait, not wait. Is that? Not or. That if that is or, that would crash all stuff. Not crash, but let's say maybe kinda strange. And source is, by the way, the IRC user object. So inside there's like a username and so on. Now Magno is just to that people. It's just it's just that that people don't spam it. You know, it's not supposed to get spammed. Triple Q says it's working. Results are wrong. Yeah, it's working in programming means it's working. It's compiling, it's not crashing. That means working. It does not mean that the results are correct. So yes. Now about we are done very anytime soon anyway. Okay, so remove quote is for mods only. And the add stuff is for mods or subs. That's why we have the if block here. And add and quote itself is like for everyone. Okay. Yeah, Magno. Like I said, mods is both. You can see there's an or. It's either or. But mods should like be able to do anything anyway. Well, most of it. Because of keeping stuff clean. Okay, we're gonna do a quick test run, so just try it out. I give you, let's say, like 2 minutes. And then you just like spam the bots, and if we don't find anything that is that's not how it should behave, then we say like, okay, we can use this bot for today. So guys, okay, break it. I give you a couple of minutes. Let's break it, and we might quickly check the email here. Oh. Right. I will answer that later. But yeah, quickly try to break it. Quickly try to break it. Quote at quote. Okay, add quote for BMX did not work because obviously the missing badge, both badges. It worked for me. Okay, that's good. Remove quote -1. Remove quote -1 does not work because there is no one. Remove quote -1. Wait. Okay, it does not fire. Right, inside is not mod. I should make a mod as well. Remove quote 1. It's working. The thing is, if you are not like don't fulfill these thingies, then it doesn't care. It just don't say anything. Okay. Remove quote -1 does not exist. It's a proper error. Magno, the quote number 6. And number 2 is Okay. Looks working. If it looks working, then I would like totally take it and then put it into this folder. That's like the folder on my desktop where I put like the other stuff, because like I pretty much save everything in data. For example, here the stats file. Yeah, you can see like who requested what. It's all ordered and so on. You can see then here like Inside on spot number 1 right now, Lotion on spot number 2. Josh is somewhere here, or the Slacker. But yeah, gonna put that in there. Does subscriber get quotes? Subscribers can add quotes. People can, and like 2 people who can pretty much add everything. Can even like say like, I don't know. Right. So, the word quote looks really weird after seeing it so much. Yes, it is. Okay. So, looks working. In this case, I'm just gonna take the release files, which should be this stuff here. Yep. Okay, just gonna take down the release files. Not the stats, not the quote list. Placement. It should be 25 files. Owning IC.NET Google G data. Wait, 24. Wait, one is missing. Which one is missing? Interval, keyboard blacklist. No, apparently not. Okay, then I'm just gonna take them, copy them over to the right, and then we have musicbot ready. There you go. Moustache arrived! Yo! Oh, talk about moustache. We'll go for it very soon. Okay, I declare, like a magician, musicbot is working. I will start up the musicbot in a minute. I will, well, we are done now. I will shut down the stream, quickly take a bio, quickly check, like set everything up for Guild Wars. Will take like, let's say 5 minutes, and then we will be back. And then we're gonna talk about what we did here. All the interesting stuff. But like I said, I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna go. Quotes.xml. I don't need it in me. Well, the thing is that was just for debugging. You guys can add all the quotes. Anyway, be right back, preparing for Guild Wars, and then we will start. Be right back.